They cut that part off of the radio version, that crazy piano at the end. Welcome in, everyone. That was a Generation X anthem by Spacehog. I know they had a couple of songs, but that one was that was their one hit. And boy, after not hearing it for, I don't know, 20 years, it still sounds pretty okay. What's going on out there? Good morning, everybody. I got a couple of news stories to share with you. As you know, I'm going to do the drama shit in the afternoon and the new stuff in the morning. So, and boy, do we have something to talk about. These people, just some channel housekeeping here. I'll get to these hogs on my own schedule. I'm thinking 5 or 6 o'clock tonight or this afternoon. So be here for that. This morning, we're just going to cover some breaking news stories, a couple tragic accidents, and then I'd like to round it off with a couple of feel-good stories. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. As soon as I go live, everyone's like, look, this asshole's live. I'm going to message him right now. Do not disturb. Hope you guys are feeling good out there. Haley Ryan, good to see you. Jessica 9152, NH Girl. Oh, you recognize this song? Good. Yeah. It's kind of abstract. If you weren't, if you weren't a teenager at the time, you might not recognize it. Good morning, good gypsy. All right, so we're going to start with the most tragic story out of Edwards Air Force Base, California. There was they don't know what the accident was caused by exactly, but here, let me show you. There was a B-52 bomber that got itself into some trouble. It looks as though the whole crew did not survive. Let me move this real quick here. Let me get this to where I want it to be. And as always, guys, please hit the thumbs up. I appreciate you being here. Let's see, maybe up here. There we go. So we're just going to jump right into it. This is out of Edwards Air Force Base, California. And it does look like our government is on the verge of reaching a tentative deal in the way of no longer bombing each other against Iran. We'll see how that goes. I'll believe it when they have the last sailor home and all of our ships out of that strait. That's when I'll believe it. NH Girl says, you're one of my favorite assholes. I appreciate that. I mean, everyone's going to have a favorite. Thanks so much, Misdemeanor. Says, on my way to do a pickup at Giant Eagle. Can't listen in the car because I have the State Farm Safe Driver app and can't use my phone. Maybe I can get Jake from State Farm to subscribe. Please do. And I hope you have a chance to hear the replay if you miss anything, Misdemeanor. Good to see you. Misdemeanors in my we share a beautiful city here, the city of Pittsburgh. All right, so this is a tough story, and of course, all the prayers possible to the surviving family members of these victims. From what I understand, and they're not really reporting in the mainstream news, it wasn't just military personnel. There were a couple of contractors. It was a crew of 8, a couple of contractors, and a couple of people they described as government civilians. So I'm not sure. I just thought that was a term for contractors. So I am a little bit confused. We'll get to the bottom of it. And of course, we'll follow up on this once they show who the victims of the accident were. But tragic in any case. And just a week ago, there was a fighter jet that fell out of the sky in Washington State in a very dramatic video of the pilot ejecting just in the nick of time. And he landed with just minor scrapes and bruises. But let's have a look.
Now we have details on an air tragedy in Southern California, the crash of a B-52 bomber on Monday. Check out this video from the scene with a massive burn scar where the plane went down shortly after takeoff. 8 people were on board, none survived. The Air Force says it happened at Edwards Air Force Base. Carter Evans is there. Carter, good morning. This is such a tragedy.
Oh, I was muted that whole time. I'm so sorry. I just said there are far more graphic videos out there. That's not what I like to do here. I don't want to wake up and put graphic violence in your face. It's not my style. I don't even like channels that do that anymore. I think I've outgrown that. In any case, it is out there if you want to see the actual accident. I'm not going to play that here. As we can see, it was a horrible accident, and we'll follow up with this story as well once we figure out who the victims were, and it's going to take a couple of days. The official statement says that they're still working to notify the next of kin, which is the best way they can do it. So,
what do we know so far?
It is a tragedy, Nate. Good morning. The Air Force says the plane was on a routine test mission. It was carrying a crew of 8, as you said, some military, some civilian, including 2 Boeing employees. And authorities say the crash was not survivable. We're about 100 miles north of Los Angeles, and this base is where the Air Force does much of its aerospace testing. Disaster struck at Edwards Air Force Base around 11:20 Monday morning.
There is an incident on Edwards property.
The B-52 Stratofortress crashed just after takeoff, creating a massive plume of black smoke that could be seen for miles.
Edwards Air Force Base experienced a horrible tragedy, and we lost 8 great Americans.
Aerial images from the scene show a large area of charred ground just off the runway where the plane went down. Very little debris is visible.
At this point, we don't have any indication as to what the cause was of this.
First built during the height of the Cold War in the 1950s, the B-52 is a long-range heavy bomber capable of carrying nuclear weapons, and it's one of the oldest aircraft still flying in the U.S. military. Doug Berkeley is executive director of the Mitchell Institute for Aerospace Studies.
I've ridden on B-52 bombers before. It's quite an experience. I mean, they're so huge. And, I wasn't much of a physics student. So just thinking, how does something this heavy and this big even work this way? It's pretty wild. It's not uncommon for these planes to have troubles. It's tragic no matter how you look at it. It doesn't matter if it was human error or faulty equipment. It's heartbreaking.
It has the advantage of tremendous range. It can carry a tremendous volume of munitions on board. We do not have enough range and payload in the Air Force right now, so we need every one of these aircraft.
Before the crash, the Air Force had 76 B-52s in operation. Some of them recently flew missions over Iran.
When you are dealing with aircraft of this age and when you are pressing for, the high performance type scenarios, we're asking folks to take a lot of risk, and clearly 8 people paid with their lives.
Now, the military is spending nearly $50 million to upgrade its B-52s, and the Air Force said the plane that went down was testing new radar systems. And Vlad, there are plans to keep these planes in service until the 2050s.
Well, our thoughts and prayers are certainly with the families of the victims. Carter, thank you very much for your reporting. Appreciate it.
Oops, I didn't mean to press play. Hold on a second. There are bears roaming around Pittsburgh. There have been like 4 sightings in the last couple of weeks. That's kind of odd. Let me get rid of this real quick here. Actually, hold on. Let's do it this way. So now let's look at the press conference from Edwards Air Force Base. Welcome in everybody who's coming in. Marie the Maina. Thank you. Yes, I was muted. Lunatic Farmer's back with us. Lost Lily. Good to see you, my dear. I need a back rub. Diesel's mom and IML, fellow artist in the house. So cool. I've been waiting to see Mama Dukes. I haven't seen her around for a couple of days. I know it was her birthday. I wanted to tell her happy birthday. But if you see her out there, tell her I said happy birthday. Let's see. Give me one sec here. Just going to open another tab to try to make things easier on me. I haven't seen this press conference myself, so we're going to watch it together. Again, this just happened yesterday. B-52 bomber out at Edwards Air Force Base. It seems to have just dropped out of the sky. No survivors. It's very terrible. Let's see. Go to this. Also, a very interesting story we're going to cover too about. We all know that there was a UFC fight at the White House for old Drumpy's birthday. There was an actual attack plan that was foiled. That for me, that was one of the biggest concerns. How do I say this correctly? I need this president to survive his term so he doesn't become a martyr for a bunch of people. I'll just say that. Everyone knew this was going to be a huge security risk. We'll look at it. And then also we're going to look at a story of the UK banning social media, and I mean almost all social media for anyone 16 years or younger than 16. We'll look at the article together. I think this is progress. I think it's a great help. And I also think it's a result of parents not knowing how to parent anymore. So they're not involved in their child's life. So the government has to take a step to help protect the children of the country. I think it's a great thing. I don't think there should be 15-year-olds just all willy-nilly up in chat rooms with people like Rebecca Turner around, people like Ricky Smith, these animals, So it's progress. Shout out to the UK. But here's the press conference, so we'll get through this. And while I play some of this, I'm going to look and see if there's any updated information as to how the accident happened. Again, Edwards Air Force Base, 8 people on the B-52 bomber just seemed to have dropped out of the sky. This is just ridiculous. I press pause and it takes like 3-4 seconds for it to unpause. Here we go. Here we go. What is going on here? Hold on one second. So stinking annoying, man. Let's see. If my avatar is too big, it cuts the screen off. All right, let's see here.
Got a brief statement, and we'll then entertain questions.
It looks like it just starts mid-sentence, so that's what we're working with. That's what we got.
Got a brief statement, and we'll then entertain questions. I ask, please, when you ask questions, please identify who you are with. That would be appreciated. I'll tell you all up front, and you probably have a sense, there's not a whole lot of information that we can provide, but Colonel Hayes will take some questions and answers afterwards to help you out as much as we can. Thank you very much. Colonel Hayes?
Let's see. Anita says, well, it's never good for a country to have our commander-in-chief assassinated. It's bad no matter who is in office. I agree. I completely agree. I mean, for many reasons, for my main reason, I still feel like I've got a bunch of years left here on Earth. And I don't want this, who I perceive to quite possibly be the most unfit and unqualified president we ever had, but to become some type of hero, if you know what I mean. We don't need statues of this man around the country. We just need to get past it.
Thank you, Mike. And thank you all for coming. Today, Edwards Air Force Base experienced a horrible tragedy, and we lost 8 great Americans. This crash is deemed to be unsurvivable, and right now... Sorry to interrupt. I see you, Wise Angel. Wise Angel popped in, says, to say hi, it's strange you have a military check go down last week. We had a chopper go down. And just this over the weekend as well, a fighter jet, I think it was F-15, one of the most expensive fighter jets the U.S. military has, just dropped out of the sky in Washington. There's a very dramatic video of that pilot ejecting in just a nick of time. I mean, it's crazy. These things are not uncommon. In my time in the military, I watched many aircraft go down for various reasons, most of them helicopters. And obviously, helicopters are the most fickle and have the worst reputation in the way of safety. And Wise Angel, I'm going to cover the social media ban for the youngsters here today as well. Thanks for cluing me into that. It's very interesting. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families of those that lost their loved ones. We're sending teams out to notify the next of kin right now as we speak, and those next of kin notifications will take place over the coming hours and remainder of the day.
Good morning, Ramona. Good to see you, dear.
It was a B-52 that was on initial takeoff, supporting the radar modernization program, which is it was a local test sortie. It took off.
Initial takeoff, that means it was full of fuel, or it at least had enough fuel for whatever training exercise they were doing. It's a lot of fuel. That plane holds so much fuel.
And immediately after takeoff, crashed and burst into flames. Our team of first responders snapped into action and immediately cordoned off the area and took the appropriate action to start putting out the flames. While that was taking place, our base responded in kind to establish an emergency operations center and a wing operations center to ensure that the command and control of all base agencies and the response for the recovery effort was underway. After reviewing the footage of the crash, it was deemed that this was an unrecoverable crash and unsurvivable. At that point, we went into the notification process, and as I said before, that's taking place right now. I want to reiterate that our thoughts and prayers go out to the family members. This is a tragedy, and this is going to be the worst days of their lives. We understand that, and we want to keep them in our thoughts and prayers. At this point, we don't have any indication as to what the cause was of this. We won't be able to release that information, and we don't have
And as I said, I will be. I've got all my alerts set up for this situation. Any news breaks, and I'll make sure this week as we go on through the week to update you on this.
Ability to get that anytime soon. Right now, we're going to stand up an interim safety board to do the initial gathering of the facts, and that will then lead to a safety investigation board, which will look into those root causes. Once that's complete, it takes about 30 days. Then it'll go into an accident investigation board, and then that will determine all of the information that we can release to the public and to the next of kin. That process can take upwards of 6 months, so we have to wait patiently while that process undergoes to ensure that we respect the process of doing full root cause analysis. This time I want to introduce my command chief, Chief Josh Skarlocken, to provide any words if you would like to.
Again, we wish the
Skarlocken is an incredible name, by the way. A lot of this is going to be redundant. A lot of them saying we don't know. Like they said, it takes an awful long time to reconstruct the situation and figure out what went wrong if they're ever going to know. But we'll stay on it.
we wish absolute condolences for the family members, and again, thank our first responders who responded very bravely. Again, this is a tragedy. It's something that we never planned for, but we're always prepared for to respond. And we thank those involved as we work through this process.
I'll now open it up for questions.
Colonel, Sampo with 23 ABC. The people on board, were they all military personnel? Were there any civilians?
It was Sam, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for that question. This was a mixed crew. This was a mixed crew of military, government civilians, and government contractors supporting this test mission. Thank you for that question.
I have to be honest with you. I don't know what government civilians are exactly. I'll do my best to try to figure it out.
Appreciate it.
In the past, anytime I've heard the phrase or the term government civilian, I thought they were talking about contractors like the G13 guys, I don't know.
No, we don't have the profile or any of that. It was a local test mission that was in execution according to their test plan. That will be made public later.
And can you talk at all about when that plane took off? How long was it in the air?
We can't talk about any of the details of the specifics of the aircraft. All of that's going to be analyzed by the accident investigation board, and that information will come out after that. The crash was totally contained within within Edwards Air Force Base on the runway.
Okay, sorry to keep interrupting this, but this is what Gemini's telling me. Obviously, I don't have this knowledge from studying in college. Government civilian refers to individuals who are employed by the government by a government agency, but are not active duty members of the military. In the specific context of aviation or defense operations, these are federal employees who provide specialized technical, administrative, or scientific support. They work alongside military personnel to occupy non-combatant status. I just thought that meant contractors. These individuals often serve as contractors, engineers, scientists, specialized logistic experts. For example, if a specialized piece of equipment requires a specific technical expertise to operate or maintain during a flight, the government might employ a civilian specialist rather than a military member. Okay, I guess that sort of makes sense. As civilians, they are generally protected under the international humanitarian law from being targeted as combatants. However, they can still be present in military settings or on military aircraft. You really never want a guy wearing a suit walk up to your captain when you're fighting a war. Nothing good can come out of that. I don't know. It always freaks me out, government civilians. So I just thought those were contractors. I guess there's a different distinction.
What goes on board from civilians to airmen? Are these experienced pilots or trainees?
Ma'am, I appreciate that question. Right now, we're doing next of kin notifications, and we don't want to release any information about who these individuals are until their families know about it. We'll have that information 24 hours after next of kin.
I did see a lot of other social media sites showing photographs of potential victims of the accident. I can't. I'm going to wait for the official word. I'm sure you guys appreciate that.
And notification takes place.
Sir, one more question. When was the last time that Edwards Air Force Base had a deadly accident?
I can't speak to the specifics of when that happened. I don't have that information available to me. It hasn't been within the last 3 years since I've been here.
And how routine is it to have these test missions? Do they happen a month or a year?
Absolutely. Our test missions take place every day, multiple times a day.
And this is the first time you've had an accident, tragic accident like this in at least 3 years.
That's correct.
Colonel, can you tell us what the scene on the ground is like right now? Is this a recovery mission?
Yes, ma'am. So the initial response is to ensure.
Welcome in, Calvel. Welcome in, Queen Moomin. We're looking at a B-52 bomber, a giant damn plane. U.S. military plane crashed at Edwards Air Force Base just yesterday.
That we can get the fire out, and then we cordon it off and make it a safe area for everybody, all of our first responders and anybody that might be coming up to the crash site. So that has already undergone. Now it is a recovery operation.
How many civilians and how many Air Force soldiers were?
Again, we're not going to release any specifics as to the makeup of the crew. I can just say at this time that it was a mixed crew of government civilians, government contractors, and uniformed military. We'll have those details after we have next of kin notification.
Was there any weaponry aboard that aircraft?
No.
How long have the
I can hear some of these questions better than others, so hopefully I made sure to turn the background music off, so hopefully you guys can hear.
No.
How long had the plane that crashed? How long had it been in service?
Again, those details will come out over the next several weeks after we have the investigation to release those public records.
Can you describe the crash scene and just what it looked like and how you were able to say that was, you couldn't survive it?
It was tragic and unsurvivable is where I'll leave it.
Is the base open for visitors, civilians, workers?
Yes, we did reopen the ability for individuals to come on base.
And again, you can't talk at all about how high that aircraft got off the ground before contact.
That's correct.
Colonel, do you know if a black box has been located yet?
Again, that's the recovery operation that's undergoing. They'll do everything they can to find that information, and then that will be used by the Safety Investigation Board to determine root cause.
And you say that you have these test flights every day. Given this tragedy, will any additional test flights be grounded?
Tomorrow we're terminating operations while we undergo this, mainly because of the runway itself, and we'll eventually get back to full operations and execute. We'll obviously internalize any of the whatever information we can from this, but at this point, yes, we are standing down operations tomorrow.
Raven, big question for you. At this point, the investigation is just all on your shoulders. There's the NTSB and they coming in as well.
That's a great question. I'm sorry, what was your name one more time?
Raymond Mesa.
Thank you, Raymond. Yes, this is an Air Force run operation. So we have all the processes that I've just laid out is going to be entirely Air Force.
And can you talk at all about the last time that particular aircraft may have been instituted to the theater of battle, whether it was in the Middle East or something?
I don't have those details at this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for coming out here today, and we appreciate the sympathy that you're all expressing and helping us express to our internal.
I had the luck to be at this Air Force base a couple of times, different training exercises while I was in the Marines, and it's beautiful out there. It's pretty desolate. Like they said, it's 100 miles north of Los Angeles. It's desert. It's desert. You can see, and then basically what it is a big training area essentially for new pilots, and not necessarily new pilots, but could be older pilots or more experienced pilots with new equipment, that type of thing. It looks from the site of the crash site, it looks like there's nothing out there, but I assure you, there's quite a built-up military base, which is Edwards.
External communities. To your right is a group of public affairs people. They honestly will not be able to provide much more, if anything, than Colonel Hayes and Chief Skarlokin have today.
All right, you have been listening to a live press conference from Edwards Air Force Base. We heard from Colonel Hayes saying that today's accident involving the B-52 bomber was a horrible tragedy, and that 8 great Americans were lost today. Colonel Hayes also mentioned that, or confirmed that the B-52 crashed shortly after takeoff, and that the 8 people on board were conducting a radar modernization program effort.
Right, they have not been identified because next of kin are still being notified right now. What's interesting is this radar modernization program is bringing these planes into the digital age when it comes to their radar. They had analog. That shows you how old they are. But what is also interesting, this is a major program that they're undergoing because they're hoping to use these planes, even though they're old, up until 2050. Keep in mind, they were created in 1955. That's almost a 100-year run, and that's how durable this bomber has been. They will continue to use it. I'm sure there will be.
It's an absolute workhorse. I mean, if anybody in chat's been in the military, you're completely familiar with the B-52. There's not one branch of the military that most of us have been on one of these beasts. In fact, I flew on one from Okinawa to Sydney, Australia as a young kid, 19 years old. And man, there aren't seats it's just one big cargo area, essentially straight down the center. There were nets, like these net benches. It was the most uncomfortable ride. And in the spirit of, well, someone's backing up, in the spirit of being fuel efficient, it would raise to a certain elevation, and this M&F-er would glide for a while. So it was the just incorrect cabin pressurization because it's just a cargo plane, just terrible on your ears. But you can't join the military and avoid B-52s. They're workhorses for the entire military. So we're going to keep tabs on that. Excuse me. Of course, the investigation, as well as all the families, have to be notified. The next of kin and notification, and then, like he said in the press conference, 24 hours after the next of kin have been notified, then they release the name. So we'll have a better idea of who these people were. It's a tragic thing, and please keep them in your prayers. Keep their families in your prayers if you could. And we're going to move along. We're going to go to which one? There's also a story I think I'll cover, well, not at the end, but there was the remains of 4 people found in a property. I'll show you. But first, we're going to talk about the social media ban. 16 years old and younger in the UK can no longer have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, TikTok, all the big hitters. They can't have any of them. I know many of you are parents or grandparents, so I'm sure you've been struggling with the kids and the phones for sure. Everybody is. I mean, shout out to the UK for making a move. Hopefully, other civilized countries will follow along. Give me a second to get this. Hold up. Sorry, my computer just super sluggish. I have to delete a bunch of stuff from the memory. Okay. Do the old switcheroo. Yes, please don't forget don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Thanks so much for being here. I know you're used to drama for me. We're going to do that this afternoon, I think around 5 o'clock. As soon as I have a solid time, I will get it scheduled. These hogs run wild, and they're messing with the wrong dude. Let's have a look. Why did do that? Let's see. It's so weird. There we go. Sorry for the lag, guys. I gotta get my stuff straightened out here.
The government will ban access to social media for all children under the age of 16.
Honestly, it's just wow. I thought it'd give it like more time to think about it and like the effects it would have.
I'm absolutely over the moon. What a brilliant announcement this morning.
This is big, isn't it? This is a generational shift.
We are dismayed by the announcement that the Prime Minister has made.
This day will go down as a day of huge consequence.
Huge. You gotta love the British accent, man. You just gotta love it, dude. I mean, speaking of, I play a lot of Generation X type songs. Like we played in with Space Hogs in the meantime today. I mean, do you remember when like a bunch of American bands just started all of a sudden singing with fake British accents? That's the funniest shit. There still are some of those bands around. It's so weird to me. I guess it was like a punk rock thing, but it was hilarious. Queen Moomin says, none of our littles have social media. Their phones are checked and locked down like a military operation. Good on you. Good on you. That's really good. That you can blame the social media companies for what they do, or you can blame the parent for allowing their children to do it. It is a complicated situation, and it is a lot of work, like you said, a military operation. But I think the onus really lies on the shoulders of the parents. Unfortunately, I've never lived in any other countries long term except for Japan, and good luck figuring that place out. But in America, we're having a big problem with just terrible parents. These parents just sit around getting high all day long and just it's terrible, and they don't know where their kids are or what their kids are doing. So in that case, I understand the government's position or move on it, so to speak. It's like if these parents aren't gonna take care of their kids, then the government has to do something. It's really something else. Queen Moomin continues, we've had big problem with kids using social media to arrange gang fights with schools. I mean, just the things that could go wrong on the internet nowadays. I mean, just look and see. I mean, Marie says, my family owned a place 8 years ago that offered a huge sub sandwich called the B-52 Bomber. It was during Desert Storm. No way I could ever eat one. So large. I've tried a few of those pizza eating competitions. If you finish the whole pizza, you get it for free. What's up, Platform? I was thinking about you. I know I'm willing to bet the Platform's a fellow Gen Xer. We think differently. I think we're the best, but I mean, of course, I'm biased, right?
For this country.
Suddenly, you're going to have a lot more time to fill. And what will you do?
Stare at a wall.
From next spring, there'll be no more social media for under 16s in the UK. We're going to answer your questions on how the ban will work, what it means for gaming, and what other countries are doing. Let's start with the question most people are asking. Which platforms will be banned? We know it will include TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Joe Tidy, our cyber correspondent, is with us to explain more. So, Joe, what's the full list of banned sites?
Like I said, I see both sides of this argument, and I don't really have a horse in the race. But I do understand. I do understand why this is a drastic move. I mean, you're talking about freedoms, and restraining freedoms. But again, for children 16 and younger, what are they doing on there? I mean, what good can come from being on TikTok or any of that anyways? And here's a better question. How are they going to prohibit these children from being on these devices or these apps? Can't you just lie? I mean, an age verifier is typically just click a button and say, yep, I'm 21 or I'm 18.
Have the full list, I'm afraid. We have, as you say, a short list of the big ones, all the ones you can imagine, the household names. So that is Snapchat.
She did say stare at the wall. Dude, I stare at the wall every once in a while. It's not so bad. It's not going to hurt you.
TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and X. Probably Reddit too, but that's not confirmed. The government says that they're going to ban any platform whose purpose, this is a quote, is to enable social interaction and which allow users to post material. So that does include quite a lot of platforms.
OK, those are the platforms that we know are banned. Which ones will under-16s still have access to, Joe?
We know that YouTube Kids is exempt from this ban, and we also know that chat apps, so WhatsApp and Signal, are also not in the ban.
What is the driving age in the UK? Is it the same as the US? Like we can get your permit at 16? I don't know. I'm not sure it matters. I'm just wondering. Because, I mean, I'm just thinking about like the first week, if it is 16 like it is here, so the first week that these kids have their permits, that'll be the first week that they're allowed to be on social media. I mean, what could go wrong? I'm trying to make light of it, but you know what I mean? It seems wild. Let's see, provide photo ID of the kid or parent allowing access. But I mean, in the age of technology, how easily is all of that? I mean, these kids are smarter than their parents in some cases. No offense to anyone. It's just because the younger people have more access to the information or are more savvy at learning stuff. I don't know. We'll see.
And how will that ban work?
We don't know. There are lots of different ways they could do it. They said that they want to use highly effective age assurance technology. So that could be, for example, facial scans that guess your age. They might use your account history on your email that's registered to this.
I'm not interested in having my face scanned. But I guess, I mean, we don't have a choice. We just look into our phone, and I'm sure it's just,
social media account or your actual activity on that account. So, for example, if you had an account for more than 16 years, they won't ban you for obvious reasons. But there's also been a little bit of discussion today about whether or not it will be on a device level. We don't think that's how they're going to do it. So, for example, in some countries, like in China, there is a minor mode, which is where parents click on a button basically and say that this phone is a minor's phone, so therefore they can't download any of the apps that we're talking about. But we don't know exactly what the mechanisms are going to be. We hopefully will find out a little bit more in July.
And a lot of children and parents will want to know when.
I'm sitting here thinking about it, like how many 15 and 14-year-olds are out there just laughing, like this is never, just thinking to themselves, this is never going to work. How do they enforce it? I'll learn more about it and try to get it to you guys.
When will the ban start?
Well, Keir Starmer said this morning that the regulation would be in place by Christmas, excuse me, and that the actual ban will take effect in spring. So March, April, May, that kind of thing we're thinking.
OK, for the moment, Joe, thank you. Now, the government says 9 in 10 parents support a social media ban for under 16.
9 in 10. I mean, that's I didn't expect that. I expected more of a 50-50 split. I mean, everyone concerned with freedoms. Interesting. Platform Boot says our phones are looking back at us. Yes, that's why I had to during the pandy, I had to talk a lot of my friends down from the cliff edge when it came to like all these ideas of the government chipping us with the vaccine and all this weird stuff. I'm just like, dude, think about it. They don't have to waste money to put microchips inside of us. We willingly and purposely carry around a tracking device that does so much more than any chip that they can slip into a vaccine. Like, it's like I'm talking to this guy, his giant damn cell phone's in his pants right against his balls, and he's worried about being chipped by the government. Like, it's like, come on, man, think. Why would they spend money to do something that you're going to do for free?
Teens. But what about children? We spoke to some 11 to 14-year-olds in Lancashire.
Could you please put your hands up, those of you who welcome the ban? Hands up for those who welcome the ban.
I didn't think it would actually happen. I kind of believed that he'd chicken out of it and give it more time.
I know in the future it will have a positive impact on young people.
Good morning, Sigma. I think this young lady's correct. I think it is going to have a more positive impact. Here's what I wish. I wish we could do it. I wish we could do it here. And maybe 16 is a little aggressive, but I think anyone like 15, 14, there should be a line. I remember being 16 and I was like a fully functioning person. Like I had a job, I had a car, everything that a 25-year-old had. So, I mean, we forget that. You should be able to make autonomous decisions in some ways. But really, let's face it, what this is a response to parents not doing what they should be doing as parents. You know what I mean? Just sitting on their poop chair, getting high all day long, not parenting. So their kids are just talking to people like B. Tim on the internet. Sigma says, good morning, Sinner Mods in chat. Started the day out, wiped out. Oh, I'm sorry. Hurting and leaving yet another doctor's appointment with the same highly complex medical situation, a healthcare system that, yes, I know. Oh, fuck. Well, you know what? This is what I wish. I hope you can find some comfort today, because I mean, this is not a get well soon situation. I hope you're able to get comfortable today enough, and you enjoy your meals today. I got your back, Sigma. That sucks, man. I'm so glad there wasn't social media when I was 16. Me too. Oh my God, dude. You think these internet banjo hags are trying to cancel me? I couldn't even imagine. But at 16, oh my God, the things I would say. Lost Lily says, I'm sure my alphabet government agency handler blushes and says, what the hell, every day. Mine too. You should see my searches. They're interesting, I'll tell you that.
Lives and their mental health.
I just feel that it maybe shouldn't have been banned. Maybe it should be more restricted so you can't talk to people that you don't know.
I'm not happy at all, because I think, like Jack said, I don't think it should be banned, but I think it should be limited.
I won't make a Harry Potter joke.
I feel a bit gutted because now I've got to find new things on what to do instead of just staying on my phone.
And we've had a lot of questions asking, will the ban affect gaming platforms? Newsbeat's games expert Tom Richardson has more on that.
If you're a fan of Roblox, Minecraft or Fortnite, you might be...
Roblox and Fortnite are just a minefield of terrible things that could go wrong. They just are. If I were, I mean this, if I were you and you're a parent, I would just never let my children play Roblox particularly. It's just... There's so many exposés and so many investigative journalists that have gotten up in there and saw what goes on. It's nothing good. I mean, we got bullies, people bullying people to the end of their life. You've got people being groomed. You've got people being urged to meet up with strangers. It's an actual minefield.
Wondering how they're going to be affected by the UK's social media ban. The good news for fans is that none of the games are going to be banned, but the way that players interact with each other is going to be affected. Once the rules come into force, under 16s won't be able to contact strangers via in-game chat. It's not a huge departure from existing child accounts, which are controlled by a parent or guardian and allow them to restrict the features that young players have access to. The government's also mentioned live streaming in its social media ban, although it's not entirely clear what it means by this. We've asked if it includes streaming sites like Twitch, which are hugely popular with video game fans.
Back to Joe.
Yeah, that's what Twitch is actually for. It's for 13 and 14-year-old gamers to yell at each other, oftentimes racial slurs and weird shit while they play video games. It's bizarre. Twitch is not made for what these failed YouTubers use it for. It's just not. That's not what the platform is for. It's to demonstrate your skill at playing a video game or playing along with your team. But, we got crackhead YouTubers who are like, there's money over there. I'll go over there. There's money over there. If there was a big bag of cash in hell, some of these people would walk straight into the flames for it.
What's been the reaction from the social media firms to the ban?
Well, as you can imagine, they're not overly happy about this. We've heard from Meta, which of course runs Facebook and Instagram,
They've said it will not achieve the goal of keeping teenagers safe online. They've quoted here, as we've seen in Australia.
Listen, these CEOs of Meta and these other companies, these social media moguls, they don't want this ban. They're talking about millions of people that are not going to be being served up their advertisements. They're not going to be served up their agendas, their narratives about what's happening in the world. This is a really big problem. A lot of these companies in secret are specifically researching how to influence young people on their platforms, millions of them. I think this is something that most countries should at least consider adapting.
Bans risk isolating teens from online communities and information and driving them to unregulated alternatives that lack built-in protections and parental controls. We've heard that from quite a few of these platforms as well. And YouTube has also said that this is the wrong decision, that's taking away what they're describing as a vital resource, so YouTube, for kids.
So the UK is getting a ban. What about other countries around the world?
Australian children are waking up without access to social
under
media.
the age of 16 in this country has officially lost access.
Australia was the first country to ban social media for under 16s.
Whoa, I had no idea. I'm sure I've plenty of people from Australia that watch me, so I'm sure somebody's told me this, and for some reason I just missed it. So Australia's already set precedent for this. I wonder if it's the same. Well, let's see. I wonder if it's the same basically physical way they're going to prohibit, the kids getting on the phone. There's only a couple of ways. And to me, it seems like any way you do it, there's still going to be a loophole.
With the law coming into effect in December last year.
Spain and Portugal seem to be the next in line, with politicians announcing plans and partly voting the rules in. Bans are
Man, I wish they would tell us more about how Australia is doing this.
to come into force in the next year.
China has wide-reaching restrictions on young people's access to social media, including tiered age restrictions, screen time limits, anti-addiction measures, and age-appropriate content filters.
The Canadian government has proposed a ban for children under 16.
Governments in France,
Malaysia,
Denmark,
Indonesia,
and Norway are also in the process of bringing in a ban.
Most countries have settled on 16 being the age to allow children on social platforms.
But some, including Denmark, are using 15 as the bar.
I think 15, there's something about, like, if you can drive and not use social media, I think that's kind of funky. I'd have to give it more consideration. Like I said, I don't have a horse in this race, so I just find it interesting. The people that are going to be affected by this ban are the people that are going to be coming and visiting us in old people's homes. Do you understand? So it's vitally important. If we can make a world where they're better people, we're going to be better taken care of. It's just that simple. I've been thinking about death a lot recently, so this is a good thing, I think, in many ways.
Australia has had the ban for 6 months now, so are there lessons to be learned from them? Our Sydney correspondent, Katie Watson, has been finding out.
Awesome. It's like they're reading my mind. I want to know how it went down.
I have TikTok, I have Snapchat, and I didn't get notifications for any of them to be banned. I wasn't kicked off of any of them. None of my accounts got banned, which was a bit anticlimactic. I know of 3 girls out of my entire year group, which is 180, that have been impacted. So that's 1 out of 60, which is not a lot.
Wow, that's not good news at all. So it's just ineffectual. Ineffective. That's my point. How could they possibly do this? The only way you could do this effectively is simply don't let them to have any device at all, or just have it be a smartwatch that they can make phone calls on, and that's it. They'd still find a way. It's like trying to keep water in a bucket with a bunch of holes in it.
If you were to ask any Australian teenager whether it's working, it would probably be a resounding no. Certainly, pretty much everyone we've spoken to, they seem to be on some social media of some sort. And there's some data that backs that up, but really small sample sizes. And I think that's the thing, is it's still really early days. It's still 6 months. We don't know, what the long-term goals are. And that's exactly what the government here is saying. It's saying this wasn't a short-term thing. We're in it for the long game. It's, we're also looking at the idea of the law being a circuit breaker. So for younger people, the 12, 13-year-olds who perhaps have not gone onto social media yet, will it change their habits too. But if you speak to experts, tech experts, they would say this is a bad idea, that it has not helped, children understand the, safety around being online, and that certainly is crucial. But,
no government can do anything that a parent can't do. That's the frustrating thing. Like, this is really, the onus is on the parents. These kids aren't buying their own phones, most of them. They're being given phones. It's just that simple. If the thing that can harm them is something that you're supplying to them, you have to take accountability. I mean, the government, what's the government going to do? Say you can't do this. Well, people are going to do it anyways. So it's just, it befuddles me. So does that mean this is more of just like a political gesture than anything else? And of course, the tech companies are against it because they lose $1 billion in revenue.
At the end of the day, it's still, as I said, the data is lacking. It's very early days, but certainly it's been a big inspiration for many countries, and of course now we're seeing the UK.
Our cyber correspondent Joe Tidy is still with us, and another question is, why is the ban happening now, Joe?
Well, I think the short answer is there's a huge amount of public support for this. The government had a consultation and found that nearly 9 in 10 of the adults they spoke to, the parents, were in favour of a ban. But I think the kind of longer answer here really is that the last few years, probably since about 2022, 2023, there have been some really high profile and tragic cases of teenagers taking their own lives because of what they've seen on social media and because of the conversations they've been having. For example, there's been harmful content that they've been shown on eating disorders.
So there's so much. There was that 764 whatever, like online stalking gang. I put together a whole presentation for that, and I couldn't bring myself to you have that live stream because I hate those stories. But they're brutal. If you're interested in it, the information's out there. People particularly targeting lonely kids to I don't know, puppet them and get them to do things that they want them to do. It's absolutely terrifying, and it wouldn't happen under the watchful eye of a concerned parent.
That kind of thing. But also there's been some cases of sextortion where children have been blackmailed and they've taken their lives. So I think that those kind of news moments and also the campaigning that's been done over the last few years by grieving and very passionate parents has really filtered down. I think it's not just in the UK, but around the world, there is this global move.
And we've been hearing reaction from some bereaved families. Take a listen to Louise Gibson.
I'm the mother of Noah. He died from what I believe is a social media challenge in December 2021. He was 11. I think it's fantastic. I think it needed to be done. It's a shame that it's taken so long, but I think it's there, it's moving in the right direction, and it will help protect so many children.
One big question is, will the ban work? The Prime Minister is being realistic about it.
This might shock you, but it doesn't shock parents of teenagers. They get around other laws too.
And Joe, whether children can get around the ban is absolutely key, isn't it?
Well, it is, yes. And people will say that the ban has failed if there's a huge number of teenagers who are still able to get on these apps like we've seen in Australia. But I think what Katie said there is also really important because, of course, this is a long-term plan and there is a sort of transition period from teenagers who are perhaps using the apps now, and then that will be taken away from them. They'll be very exercised to get back on the apps using VPNs and other ways around it. But then there will be younger children, of course, coming through that don't know what they're missing. And perhaps it's that generation of children that we're looking towards that will change the culture around social media. But the other point to make as well,
I don't know. I think that's wishful thinking in a lot of ways. Hey, Death by Chocolate, so good to see you. Yeah, I know it is heartbreaking. I hate covering that. I won't share those stories. I mean, there's enough channels on YouTube of people that vulture off of people's loss. I want nothing to do with that.
Is that there's another reason that you could another way you could look at this in terms of whether it's successful.
Don't misunderstand me. If there's a disaster at a factory or a military plane accident, I'll cover that because I think there's value in that. I don't think there's value in just exploiting death.
successful or not. And that would be, has it made social networks and social media platforms safer? And I think some critics would say that actually this probably isn't going to do that, because of course, if you ban children from these potentially harmful places, then that might mean that the social networks are able to wash their hands of it.
Joe, thank you very much for answering those questions. And that's all you need to know on the UK social media ban.
The big story. All right, we're just going to take a break from the intense stuff and check in with Marlo Anderson and see what National Day today is. And then I'm going to throw on a song so I can make another cup of coffee here if it's just the same to you guys. Thanks again for being here. I do appreciate you. The drama stream tonight should be interesting. Just some hog blabbering in the middle of the night we got to discuss. But I'm going to separate the two. News in the morning, drama at night. Let's see here. Give me 1 second to pull up Marlo. Our man Marlo Anderson at the National Day calendar. How you guys feeling? What's going on out there? Everybody rested? It's already Tuesday the 16th. I mean, time is just flying. Like I said, it's going to be the 4th of July before we know it. Let's see here. Well, would you look there? Dreaming of going to the beach, and then Marlo comes through with a National Day like this. Bam.
Long before they were the peaceful wanderers of our modern coral reefs, ancient sea turtles ruled the prehistoric oceans on a truly spectacular scale. June 16th is World Sea Turtle Day. Over 75 million years ago, a massive shallow sea split North America completely in half. Ruling these ancient waters was Archelon, a gargantuan sea turtle that grew up to 15 feet long and weighed more than 3 tons.
Dude, Archelon? Hell yeah, that's an incredible name. Somebody trying to build a new YouTube channel? Archelon.
This leviathan completely ditched the traditional solid heavy bone shell. Instead, it evolved a lightweight skeletal framework covered by a thick, leathery hide. It was a brilliant evolutionary design.
Wise Angel said, if I got caught at 13 climbing back in my bedroom window as she heard the ladder rattling, I don't know, it's dangerous to share any private information. I will say this: by the time it was my turn to be rebellious and like sneak out and do that kind of stuff, my older sister had already worn the authorities in the family down, and so they were just like, just let us know you're alive. I could leave on a Friday afternoon and come back Sunday late. Weekdays I had to be home most weekdays unless I had an excuse. I had to be there at 5 o'clock for dinner, which is I think that in part was vital in making me who I was, because I was held accountable every fucking day. I didn't have a choice to have like a few days and wonder and getting things into something that I shouldn't. But on the weekends, it was sort of a free for all. And because my parents trusted me so much, I responded in kind and respectfully let them know where I was. You know, if I ever got in trouble, I'd just call my dad and he'd come get me. Most cases, you know, I'd get a lot of shit for it. I might be thrown up out the window because I'm drunk, but there were a few times where it was like he got me home and it's like, we'll talk about this in the morning. And then you wake up in the morning like, oh shit, and then nothing, just sitting there having his coffee, reading the paper. I don't think he wanted to broach the subject either. But I made it home safe. Let's see here. Your sister must have really put them through it. They were tired after her. Yes, that was it. They were just like, dude, she tried everything. She did the sneaking out, the staying at a friend's house, all of it. Like, so they saw by the time it was my turn, they had seen it all. Anyways, back to the sea turtle.
And its direct modern descendant, the leatherback sea turtle, still uses that exact same rubbery armor to safely traverse our oceans today. I'm Marlo Anderson with National Day Calendar. reminding you to celebrate every day.
Thanks, Marlo, and we will. I know a couple of YouTubers that got some rubbery armor. Have you seen their feet? Oh my goodness. All right, bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm going to throw in a song and get another cup of coffee if it's just the same to you guys. We'll be on here for a little bit longer. Let's see. Dads never worry about sons the way they do daughters either. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I've got buddies that have single moms for moms, and man, that can get treacherous with the helicopter parenting. Like those poor guys never get a break. And that not in all cases. And it's fully understandable, but I witnessed some of the craziest helicopter parenting you could ever imagine. And of course, like I just said, with my circumstance, it was so strange to see that. It was like they were all like Jehovah's Witnesses or something. They couldn't do anything. Couldn't do nothing. Can't even wear a hypercolor shirt. All right, bear with me. Let me get rid of this guy. Take a seat. Take a seat, my friend. All right. Let's see. What should I play? There really is only one Space Hog song. Right? Or was there another one? Give me 1 sec. Yeah, I think that was their only Boy Moms. Yeah. I think that's the only like recognizable song from Space Hog that I can think of. I give my parents no trouble at all. My sister, on the other hand, was a little terror. She pushed the envelope till the flap tore off. My older sister was that way. She's very interesting. And the same sister, I'm going to go down there this week and see her, and I'm going to plop open my Chromebook in front of her, and she's going to join us on a live stream. So she'll take some questions for you guys. I mean, we'll answer questions within reason. It's that we're not going to be, you know what I'm saying. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to find a song here. No pressure. I spend about 20 minutes before each live stream trying to figure out which song to use as an intro. And then at the last minute, I always go to a safer one that I know better. So bear with me just for a second. Get some coffee for yourself too. How about some Everlast? You know it ain't easy. Everlast, aka Whitey Ford, aka the lead singer of House of Pain. Jump around. This song is called It Ain't Easy. I'll be right back, guys.
Heart with a zipper and I got a scar from the stitches and nothing on my hands but time. Trying to get an upper hand, find a woman that'll understand. Waiting on some kind of sign. You know it ain't easy. Sometimes waiting is the hardest part. Ain't easy. Your whole world keep falling apart. Ain't easy. Trying to get right from the very start. Ain't easy. Sometimes waiting is the hardest part. And on the wall there's a picture frame, and I can almost hear her name. I need a woman that'll make me kinder. I got a wish in a photograph, a woman that'll make me laugh. I'm worried that I'm never gonna find her. Just take your time. Don't waste your time. Ain't easy. Sometimes waiting is the hardest part. Ain't easy. When your whole world keep falling apart. Ain't easy. get right from the very start ain't easy. Sometimes waiting is the hardest part. Ain't easy. Sometimes waiting is the hardest part. Ain't easy. When your whole world keeps falling apart. Ain't easy. Trying to get right from the very start. Ain't easy.
Jeez, man. I guess it wasn't easy to come up with another verse. Holy repetitive, Batman. I feel obligated to hear the rest of it, man. But he's repeated that way too many times.
Sometimes waiting is the hardest part.
Sometimes waiting for a song to end is the hardest part there. Everlast. Holy cow. Jeez, man. I started to trip out. I was like, it's still going. He's going to say it again. I like Whitey Ford, though. He's an interesting cat. He's opening for Atmosphere, a rap group that I often play here at Red Rocks later this year. It's going to be quite a show. Let's see here. I'm 4 years older than the flat tearing horror. That's funny. All right, so I want to show you. Well, it's not. Well, I guess it is a feel-good story. This is. We talk too often of authority figures that make mistakes, or or suspicious, or drop the ball, or are just absolute terrors in this world. Well, I found yet another example of a man who is exactly opposite of that, and working. And unfortunately, I can only find short videos about this. This is Greenville, South Carolina. Officer gets called. A baby girl fell into a pool. Parents didn't know what to do. Parents running around with the baby in their arms. Officer shows up and saves the baby's life. The officer is a hero. He should not have to pay taxes for the rest of his life. That's what I think. Of course, he was just doing his job, but he wasn't just doing his job. If you're able to keep your cool and know exactly what you have to do in that moment, that's not just doing your job. That's your hard work and training paying off in the circumstance that it was intended for. And unfortunately, it doesn't always go down this way. That's why I feel important that we have to shine some light on my dude. Unfortunately, I just have this one dumb little short video, so we'll have a look. With of course, it has terrible music. I'll see if I can find an article to accompany it. Give me one sec. Place this. And hopefully this officer is getting the shine that he deserves today. Oh. Oh, and it's not going to work that way. Give me 1 second. There's something about the ratio of the screen here that messes me up. There we go. There we go. Now we're in business. Sorry about that, guys. I don't need this stinking music, man. Is there not a mute button? How do I turn the friggin'... Jeez, we don't need that. As you can see, the officer pulls up, panic. The mom's holding the child. This must be a relative. Yep, this looks like the guy who called 911. He's still got his phone out. The cop's like, I got this. My man's like, I got this. You know how brave you have to be and how responsible, and also keeping your cool under pressure is the. Here's the thing. These cops and all this, they could have all the training in the world, but until they experience something like this, their superiors, their managers, so to speak, their supervisors have no idea if they're going to act right under pressure. So to see that occurring is incredible. And so this says on May 31st. May 31st. I thought it was just yesterday. Anyways, whoops. Greenville County deputies saved the life of a young child who fell into a swimming pool and stopped breathing. I just have it muted because it has like psychotic music playing for no reason. Let's see. Yeah, there's no need for that. He saved this little baby's life, man. He's a hero. These guys are heroes and nothing more.
Okay, sweetheart. There we go.
I hope they're taken care of properly, those guys. I hope they can. I mean, somebody buy them a car. I mean, what you just saved the whole family's grief and all kinds of what you know. I'm tore up laughing about the repetitive verse and your response. Yeah, you know it ain't easy to listen to, and you say that one more time, bruh. Like that's too much. It's too much. All right, let me get rid of that. So that's great news. I thought it was a newer story, so it's like 2 weeks old, dude. I got. They lied to me. Let's see. You get the idea. And that's all I got in the way of news stories. Oh, wait, there was one more I wanted to show you. Actually, two more, and these are pretty far out there. Let me see if I can find them quickly. One of them is a nuclear weapon sniffing plane that's being flown over the World Cup event locations. But this one was very interesting too. You know, I've been talking a lot of shit on the president having his birthday party with a bunch of oiled up men wrestling in a cage for him. Because my main concern was security. And of course, some asshole had some plot. Let's have a look and see. I'm not sure how much they're going to tell us, but let's see. Give me 1 sec. Oh, come on. I hit mute or I hit pause and it takes like 6 seconds for the video to stop. It's the most obnoxious stuff in the world. All right, let's see. Let's see here. And I'm sure, you know, as I'm finding out that the security for the World Cup venues are world class as well. I mean, if you got nuclear weapon sniffing planes flying over them, I mean, nothing to worry about, right? Nothing to see here. What the hell? All right. Why is this not working? There we go. Every time it switches on its own, it's so annoying. All right. So this is a plot that was foiled by authorities to cause some type of harm to the Orange Man's birthday party.
We're going to start with breaking news. The FBI has arrested at least 5 people they say were planning to attack Sunday's UFC fight at the White House. Now, charges are expected to be unsealed later today. The event drew more than 4,000 people on the lawn of the White House, with thousands more watching just outside the White House grounds. Let's bring in CBS News Justice reporter Jake Rosen. All right, Jake, so this is developing minute by minute here. What can you tell us?
Well, what we know, according to sources who have spoken with CBS News, is that 5 people are in custody so far, including one individual from Ohio, after FBI Director Kash Patel announced on Twitter or X this morning that partners became aware last week.
I'm telling you, man, Ohio. Ohio, dude. Whatever's going on in Ohio is so bad that it's like the one place on earth that like it causes more people to want to leave the earth. I'll explain. There are more astronauts from Ohio than any other state. So whatever's happening there, they're like they don't want to just move to the coast. They want to get on a rocket and shoot themselves away from the earth. That's how strange Ohio is. Straight out, shout out the good people in Ohio. You're outnumbered out there.
Right before this event on the White House grounds, that there was a potential threat. A source told CBS News that a family member went to law enforcement saying that if a family member of one of the people detained
Kash Patel, our FBI director, is a full redact. He just is. I mean, he's so grossly unfit for his job that it's almost like an SNL skit. Except, I mean, it's not really funny.
said that potentially someone planned something nefarious, and that after investigating, the FBI found a Signal chat that many people were participating in planning this potential attack. Two sources have told CBS News that the alleged plot would have used explosive-laden drones in addition to potential snipers to attack people who would flee the scene of any potential explosion, as they followed by a, quote, second wave attack, which would have potentially gone after actually attacking people on the White House grounds. Certainly more to come. And
I hate everything about this event. I saw Travis Pastrana out there, man. He's someone that I've been a huge fan of for many years. He's out there doing backflips on dirt bikes. Like, it's just, our government's job here in this country is to serve us and protect us. It's not to fucking entertain us. I hate everything about this. I hate the idea of having Bud Light advertisements on the fucking White House, dude. It just should. Listen, it's kind of funny that it happened. As I get older and we reflect back upon this, it's going to be funny, but in the moment, it's just not funny. We're in war. American military personnel are losing their lives, and this guy's got men all oiled up in a cage for his birthday on the lawn of the White House. This house belongs to us as Americans. It's the people's house. No one asked any of us if we wanted it there. None of us. Nothing but Epstein-class billionaires in the front row of this event. You've got investment bankers. You've got media tycoons that just got deals made with Trump's private lawyers and shit, just shaking hands. And it's just, it's literally like looking into what hell is when you see these people.
Secret Service said in a statement earlier today that there will likely be court filings soon, and that more details will be involved there.
Yeah, because one thing that I think everybody is wondering, Jake, is who are the suspects? Do we have any details at all about who these potential alleged suspects are? And, the FBI responds to threats all the time. Kudos to them. It's often the ones that we don't know about that they are thwarting on a consistent basis. What made this one stick out?
Well, we'll find out more with court filings on what specifically, Vlad, could have been that trigger moment. Was it a move for these 5 people to meet up in Washington, D.C.? Was it a plan to potentially develop or gain some kind of access to some kind of explosive device? But again, sources have told CBS News that this tip from a family...
Right, so that wasn't me. That was someone with a hot mic. It sounded like they were sniffing something. Did you hear that?
In Washington, D.C. Was it a plan to potentially develop or gain some kind of access to some kind of...
What the heck? Hey, bud, your microphone's on. It sounds like Queen Bee. Hold on a second. Old Sniffy McSnifferston in the background. What the... I guess it's morning news. Good morning. What the heck?
What specifically, Vlad, could have been that trigger moment? Was it a move for these 5 people to meet up in Washington, D.C.? Was it a plan to potentially develop or gain some kind of access to some kind of explosive?
That's so crazy. That's so crazy. That guy should get a piss test right away. What the hell?
Explosive device. But again, sources have told CBS News that this tip from a family member of one of the people who's been detained has tipped off this investigation. And again, we're not aware of this until this morning, but it shows the risk, as we've seen in Washington, D.C., as America and President Trump has been participating in events surrounding the 250th anniversary of the U.S. We obviously had the White House correspondents.
This guy and his very photogenic wife. Oh my God. Oh my God, these people. Did you know a week before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Donald Trump berated him and told him he was going to get him on a phone call? This is in a new New York Times report. So all these conspiracies about, like, was this weird furry guy with his boyfriend, did they actually commit this crime? Or was this something far more cynical? I mean, I don't think the president wants us to know that he was telling Charlie Kirk to go motherfuck himself a week before he was assassinated. Specifically because Charlie Kirk had enough of hearing about the Epstein files, and he, as a very conservative person, was calling for the release of them. And that's a big problem because most of our government personnel are pedos that go to islands,
A dinner attack earlier this month, and an individual who opened...
Pure speculation, of course. But then you can check out the New York Times article for yourself. Very interesting. Using the war room, the situation where the war room in the White House where former leaders would make decisions as to whether or not to drop nuclear bombs on countries. They're talking about how to do a PR cleanup about the American president being best friends with the pedo that sold people. Likely introduced him to his wife.
Fired on the security agents who were guarding White House grounds. Also, I think the security apparatus is something to keep tabs on, Vlad. And also, how serious was this plan? We've seen the Justice Department and FBI say that there were planned terror attacks often, but how much development had gone into this? It appears that at least some kind of plan had been made to develop different stages of the attack, and how detailed those all were will be released shortly in court documents when we get them, and we'll report back.
All right, looking forward to the release of those documents. Jake Rosen for us in Washington. Jake, thank you.
Oh, didn't mean to press play. Now watch when I press pause. It takes like way too long. Okay, it did it. All right, we're not going to listen to this guy right now. But I'm going to set any of you guys that have true crime channels, or any of the crackheads in the bushes, or people that watch this later, if they have true crime channels, here's a story that you can cover. I don't cover stories like this, but I do want to share it because it's a terrifying true crime case, and you could probably build an entire channel off of discussing it and getting interviews with people. Just give me 1 second and I'll pull this up. There's a dog down the street that's losing its mind, if you can't hear that. Now kids are screaming at the dog. Okay, give me 1 second here. Where's it at? I just looked at it this morning and I was like, what is this? Did I save it? I must have saved it to watch later. I musta. Let's see. Yes, I did. This is just, man, my computer's just like, hey, man, we don't want to do anything for you today. All right. Good morning, Cloudy Cakespur. They really got to do something about that fucking dog over there, man. What is happening? It sounds like it's one of Rebecca Turner's dogs, dude, just yelling for help. Somebody help that puppy, man. Okay, so this is a brutal story. We're not going to end with this. I just wanted to share this. It's a gift to those of you that say that you do true crime, and instead you talk about babies' iron levels. Instead, you talk about other people's problems. Here, do true crime. Here's a case for you. I think. All right. Why is it not working? Hold on. Why? There's something about the size of my avatar that screws up the whole setup here, man. It's so annoying. And now my shit's just frozen. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but my shit's frozen. So let's see. Okay, there we go. It unfroze. Thankfully. Every time it switches on its own. It's a real nightmare. Let's see. There we go. Listen up, true crimers. This is a gift for you guys. So you can stop talking about my nuts and cover true crime, please.
All right, Chair, thank you. Now to some breaking news for you. Tonight, investigators descend on property in northern Genesee County as the evidence grows that a suspected serial killer once owned this land. It was back in March when work crews at a recently purchased home found human remains. Investigators now confirming the remains of 4 people were found on that Willard Road property, and police are searching a second property that the now deceased man owned. So, Terry, did police find anything out there today?
Angie, we're not sure at this point. The man who now owns the property on Harris Road in Forest Township says he purchased the land about 5 to 6 years ago from Dwayne Reynolds. Reynolds also owned the home on Willard Road where those human remains were found. The properties are about a mile apart. Several Michigan State Police personnel came to this property in rural northern Genesee County, a piece of property once owned by Dwayne Reynolds. Ed Brown says he bought the property from Reynolds a few years ago and is allowing police to conduct this search of the land.
If there is something there, I want people to get closure for their family. So yeah.
Man, there's no way I could live in a house wondering if there are human remains scattered around. I couldn't do it. How do you go to sleep, dude? It's too much. This guy doesn't seem to mind at all.
Nope, they can do whatever they got to do.
Closure for families.
He's probably thinking, you have no idea the deal that I got on this house. I mean, I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
Who have missing loved ones. Police confirmed they found the human remains of 4 people at this home on Willard Road, which was also owned by Reynolds. Reynolds died in December of 2024, and the first set of remains was found by a contractor months later who was fixed.
Listen, in most cases with that many victims, other people were likely involved. That's what makes it an interesting true crime case. And I don't know if anyone else on YouTube or social media is following this, but it's quite a story.
Up the house. It was in April when we reported police were in contact with Reynolds in 2017. He had picked up a woman in Flint who was holding a sign stating she was homeless. The heavily redacted report states the woman ran from a trailer from Reynolds' property on Harris Road. The woman, who was naked, running to a nearby house, telling a resident there's a man back there. According to the police report, Reynolds was questioned and a warrant request was submitted, but was denied because there was no complainant and no victim.
I mean, what? What do you mean there was no complainant? Who was the naked woman running away from the house then if there's no complainant? How can they just drop something like that? It does. I don't know. I'm not a true crimer, but something's not right.
Fast forward 9 years, the remains of 4 people are found at Reynolds' former home, and the police are searching the land where the woman ran from in 2017. Do you believe at this time that there was a serial killer that had that property?
Oh, heck yes. Yeah, that guy was definitely something wrong with him, and he was a serial killer.
Brown says he knew Reynolds, but never suspected anything like this.
Nobody likes it, but what are you going to do? I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. Yeah, I mean, and that's probably why they get away with it, because they look like a normal person like everybody else.
Oh, man.
Now, the Michigan State Police says it is still working to positively identify the 4 people whose remains were found at that Willard Road home. Again, it's not clear if anything was found.
No, the guy being interviewed either is the new owner or the neighbor. They didn't really say. But he seemed pretty casual about it. And he said he knew the guy. Was he friends with the guy? Listen, this is a crazy story. Kind of like a not secluded, but like tucked away sort of like country sort of environment. Obviously, weird shit's been going on there at least since 2016 when a naked woman tried to escape the property. How was there no complainant? I don't understand. Listen, there's plenty of story here. If somebody out there says they do true crime, but they actually do other things, here's a story that's served up to you. It's for you. It's for you. You can get FOIA reports on these addresses. You can really investigate yourself in a respectful way and report on the story. I won't be doing it because I don't do true crime. I'm just trying to give these useless people around here something to talk about. Here's a snack, dude. Like, geez. There's got to be so much more to that story.
Day's search on Harris Road. Now, I did reach out to a relative of Dwayne Reynolds, who was 61 when he died in December of 2024, and that person had no comment. Angie?
Yeah, I mean, would you have a comment?
Well, the U.S. and Iran say they have reached a peace deal to end the...
Hold on a second. Sorry. This is not the last story, but next to the last. And then we'll listen to a tune. I don't want to... I do like Ugly Kid Joe, and I do like that song, but I don't want to end my live stream with the song saying anything about hate. I'm trying to start these mornings out with some pep in my step. But I think there's a couple other Ugly Kid Joe songs I can play. So as you might have known, it seems as though the U.S. and Iran has struck some type of compromise. I don't think we have all the details yet. I'm weary of any reports of compromise or as anything being agreed upon because we've seen this reported dozens of times in the last 130 days since this war began. I'm hopeful. I'll believe it whenever they bring all of our people home.
war.
And the stock market and the oil prices are reacting this morning. Let's start with NBC 10's Monica Medea in the live center with the details of this deal. Monica.
Hey guys, good morning. President Donald Trump and
the sad reality is it could be market manipulation, saying that things are going to be okay. People start spending their money in confidence that things are going to improve, and then oftentimes it does not. There are more important things than the gas prices, believe it or not.
Pakistan's prime minister announcing this deal's been reached between the U.S. and Iran, and it will be signed later this week. Now, President Trump posting on Truth Social, I hereby fully authorize the toll-free opening of the Strait of Hormuz, adding the U.S. naval blockade there will be removed. Pakistan's prime minister also writing both sides have
It should have never been there. We had no right to do that.
Declared the immediate and permanent termination of military operations on all fronts, including in Lebanon.
It's been military pressure and strength from President Trump that's compelled Iran to this deal, which will be performance-based.
That's Pete Hegseth. He's the Secretary of War is now what they've changed his title to. He's also grossly unqualified for his position. A closet Nazi type of man. He just recently fired very high-profile generals and commanders in the U.S. military. Every single one of them a black person. It's happening right before our eyes, dude. We need this administration. We need the next election to come to save the freaking soul of our country.
But in Iran's capital, hardliners protesting against signing the memorandum. Now, NBC News has not verified when these government-approved demonstrations took place. Meanwhile, Sunday, attacks in the region. Iran-backed Hezbollah firing drones.
I do realize that I've got viewers all over the world. When I say our country, I'm just talking about mine. I think you guys get it.
Drones at Israel, according to the Israeli Defense Forces. They launched their own deadly strikes against the group in Beirut. And after that, President Trump posting Israel's attack should not have happened, saying all sides stand down. Israel's prime minister ordered the strikes. In the live center, Monica Medea, NBC 10 Boston.
Thanks, Monica Medea.
At the same time, the price of crude oil has dropped by about $4 overnight. The average is now just over $80 a barrel. Gas prices are responding, though not all that dramatically. This morning, the average price in Massachusetts is $4.17. That's down 1 cent from yesterday.
I always wondered, like, what prohibits the like a gas station attendant or the owner of these gas stations that we all get our gas at? What prohibits them from just jacking up the prices? I mean, that always confused me. People are like, oh, we've all seen the gas prices. Like it's like $5.25 on the corner here, and across the street it's like $4.18. It's like, what's going on here? Is it better fuel? I suppose it could be. Sinner, look up the slight Spike Lee gave to Prince Harry, who ended up in row 8 at the NBA. Oh, well, Spike Lee. If you guys don't know, the New York Knicks won the national championship in the NBA, the basketball team. And Spike Lee, most of you know who Spike Lee is. He's a brilliant little dude. He's the biggest Knicks fan that ever existed. There's no debate about it. But yes, he's been very vocal about what are the Kardashians doing here, dude? Basketball. What do they know about basketball? Like, he took it personally. Let me see if I can find it.
Down 12 cents from last week.
All right, we get it. All right.
It's not your average everyday encounter as a local woman was letting her dog out when she saw what looked to be a black bear. Take a look at your...
I've been trying to pause that video since it started. All right, we're going to watch the black bear video. I'm going to see if I can find the thing about Spike Lee. The bears are just popping out of the woods here in Pittsburgh. I don't know what's going on.
Screen, KDKA spoke with the homeowner who lives in the city's Summerhill neighborhood. She said she was letting out her dog when she saw a bear across the street. Then surveillance catches it walking across the street and looking over where she and her dog were before it continued on. The homeowner told KDKA she was surprised to see it.
It took a second to register because I was kind of excited, but at the same time, I was like, what is this bear doing in the middle of the city? So I hurried up and went inside with my dog and felt, where did it go?
Bear sightings have been reported throughout the region. Check this out. This is in Uniontown, Fayette County. You can see the bear throw his paw up on a bird feeder before munching down on the bird seed before eventually
He's like, I'm just looking for second lunch over here.
ripping the entire birdhouse down.
Pretty cool. Yes, I did find, looks like Popcorn Planet did a thing on the, let's see, on Prince Harry. I didn't realize it was such a blowout. I thought he was just talking shit. I didn't realize it was like a whole situation. Interesting. Shout out Popcorn Planet. Let's see here. We'll just watch a couple minutes of this. It's like 9 minutes long. We're not going to watch all of it. No can do.
Did filmmaker Spike Lee freak out on Prince Harry?
Oh, but Spike Lee is so much more than just a filmmaker. He's an artist. He's I don't know.
At a World Cup game? Oh, we got to discuss this.
Sorry, I just want to get the meat and potatoes here.
Well, Spike Lee seemingly confronts him and denies.
I watched this guy a lot during the Brian Laundrie situation. I guess, Gabby Petito case.
Prince Harry's handshake. It's pretty wild footage. Shout out Nancy Sidley here has it on her Twitter. I want to play. Let's play the clip, and then we're gonna go back to some footage she found that might explain why. But before, I want you guys to see it directly. Here it is. Okay, so Harry's giving some sort of hug. Spike Lee approaches, and then even Harry's like, "Oh, hi, Spike Lee, yeah, high five."
Oh,
and
shit!
Spike Lee just
He says, nope. I hope you guys can see that properly. Spike Lee dodged the handshake. Prince Harry trying to do his black urban handshake to Spike Lee. Whoopsies. And Spike Lee's like, no, son. What's the beef, though? Let's see.
Denies. And then instead does the, yo, you, why'd you? And then Harry's kind of smiling as Harry touches his chest, and Lee's not having it. Now Harry then goes and reaches the hand, and Spike sort of agrees to hold on to the hand, but then look at him letting go already.
There's nothing worse than a forced handshake, dude. There really isn't. I don't know, man. I hate it so much.
As he sort of continues, hello, this looks confronting. He looks like he's confronting him. And I think that's Tracy Morgan next to him, who seems to be chilling. Anyway, that's going down. Now, shout out again. Nancy found this clip I want to share, sort of bring some backstory.
Okay, we'll just watch this for another second. Do check out Popcorn Planet.
Into why this might have happened in the first place.
Wise Angel got the tea for us. And that's not just because she's in the UK. They drink coffee there too. It says Spike has particular beef with Harry over Harry using his name for a fake book account. Watch Dan Wooten. Oh shit. Well, I don't have time for that during this live stream, but I will watch it as I go through my day today and look for something to watch. Dan Wooten. How weird is that? Okay, so Dan, you think Popcorn Planet would know this?
The real
Oh, wait, yeah, it says right here. Damn, Harry used Spike Lee's name as an alias on Facebook. Spike allegedly confronted him at the game. Good for Spike. What's he using Spike Lee's name for? That's so weird. He's Prince fucking Harry, dude. Just be Prince fucking Harry. Why would you have an alias that's Spike Lee? What the hell? Do you think more people know who Prince Harry is or know who Spike Lee is? They're probably equally as famous, dude, and recognizable. What the hell? Why?
Station was with William. I said, "Come here for a second." I said,
"No, you didn't." You
yes, he did.
No,
I said they walked down the line. So I'd like to speak for 1 second. I said, "I have a message for your brother." And he says, "Is this next?" I said, "No." So I said, "Your brother used my name as an alias on Facebook. Can you ask him why he did that?"
No way,
dude. I mean, also I can hear an army of fucking trolls just waking up and changing all of their screen names to Spike Lee this morning. Like this is the problem. Sometimes the actions cause reactions.
Harry?
I mean, I guess if you're Spike Lee, you're not going to get mad if just anybody does that. You know, especially just a private citizen or whatever. But like this guy's a prince. Why would he? To me, it's so weird.
Wait, Prince Harry?
Yeah.
Again, I know the clip is soft, so I'm coming in quietly. Sorry, you might adjust your volume. Prince Harry allegedly used Spike Lee's name as an alias on a Facebook page, which set Spike off.
Google.
Yeah. Wait.
And is he going to? Did
He's still giving the message.
Wait, Prince Harry used your name,
Spike Lee,
on a Facebook
It's
account.
so funny. It's even funnier that Spike Lee, like most of us are never going to be in the same room with the prince, but Spike Lee is, and he's like, "Hey man, you're using my name." I can't understand why. It's just weird. Why would you use his name?
Yes.
Why? I don't get it.
It's because he's married to Meghan, who are behind all of this. Get the kids off the internet. I see.
Well, ask his brother to find out.
What did he say?
Let us know when you find out.
When I know, you'll know.
How did you even find? I guess obviously because you know
People
it's not
told
you.
him.
People told me.
It's just
It's like,
Yeah, that's a good question. Just logistically, how do you find out that it's whose account it is? So he was using Spike Lee's name, but people also knew that he was Prince Harry. The whole thing is weird. Also, how many accounts does that dude have?
it's you can Google it.
He did not do the right thing. He did not.
Yeah, that's funny.
Look, I just want to know why he did it.
Yeah.
I mean, he could chose
Any name.
David Lean, Sean Connery.
Which Carly Simon song, Sigma? I'll see if I can pull it up.
Anybody.
James Bond. Winston Churchill.
I mean, Spike Lee got a great sense of humor for sure.
You should have said, "Can you give me a cell phone number so I can just call him?" I like that you have them, and that's the question you needed to ask.
It was a very specific question. Now, with that in mind, knowing that he wants to ask him, "Yo, why are you using my name as your alias on Facebook?" Now it all kind of plays.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. What else we got here? I don't want to use too much of Popcorn Planet stuff. I don't think this guy's controversial. Entertaining for sure. Like I said, I watched him during the Gabby Petito stuff. He got a little bit guessy. I mean, particularly with is Brian Laundrie under the flower bed? Did somebody hand him a Snickers? Like, it's just the weirdest shit. But we do our best. That's all we can do around here. Let me get rid of this real quick. All right, so you true crimers, there's a great true crime case for you to cover. Let's see if you actually do true crime or not. Let's see. I spoke to Meghan on one of her aliases, and she instantly blocked me. The Sussex Squad bullies. How weird. Also, why were you talking to her? What was the intended conversation? It's because I see. Oh man, I got all kinds of acronyms. I'm gonna write them down, Wise Angel. Your boy hates acronyms, dude. The World Health Organization. I know that one. I don't know CELT. Thousands of accounts, they bought the names and domain names well before they were married. That's so weird. It's so weird. Anyways, that's what I have for you today. Shout out to New York Knicks. Man, I covered the Oliver Tree, the loss of Oliver Tree's life, an American musician, artist, actor, painter. There's some video out there that's just I of course I would never show it here. I just wanted to say there's a video of someone attempting to jump out of the helicopter. It's just terrible. So make sure you keep his friends and family and everyone involved. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers as well. It's just incredibly tragic. I think everyone's still shocked because if you know anything about Oliver Tree, he was a prankster. And he talked often about his own demise, even as specific as a helicopter. It's so crazy. It's like there's conspiracy theories abound out there, but I know helicopters well enough to know that sometimes just one thing going wrong could be the end of it. So I'm not going to subscribe to the conspiracies just yet, although your boy's watching them and listening to them because some of it's really far out there. I'll see you guys tonight. Jeez, man, the neighbor's dogs are just, it sounds like a stinking pound over there. Anyways, I'll see you guys tonight, 5 or 6 o'clock. I'm not sure exactly what time. I got some shit to do. Your boy has to go to a doctor's appointment. It's going to be a blast. I'll see you guys this afternoon for some sweet, sweet drama. Bring your friends, bring your aunts and uncles. It's going to be a hoot. We're going to keep approaching these animals on YouTube in such a way that they're here for our entertainment. I mean, literally, they're just entertainment. They're not meant to be taken seriously anymore. And if you are still taking them seriously, I urge you to reconsider. They're all trash. The account was bullying my online friends who became close friend. No kidding. How come I can't highlight that? There we go. I guess, I mean, you never know who you're talking to. It might be Spike Lee. It might be Prince Harry. That shit's wild to me. Shit, I'm looking for Sigma. Yes. Which Carly Simon song would you like to hear, Sigma? Let me see if I can pull it up. And I didn't see Cash in here today, but your song got me yesterday. That was the one song that got my video blocked. I had to delete that part out. All right, I'll pick a Carly Simon song in the spirit of keeping good time here. Is that how you spell Carly's? Yeah, it is. You're so vain. You're so vain. You probably think this live stream's about you. Let's see. I don't know which one to play. Let's see. I mean, You're So Vain is the one Carly Simon song I know for sure. It looks like there's several different versions of it as well. Well, let's see. Let's see, shall we? Well, to hell with it. I'll play You're So Vain. It's not the happiest song, but it's pretty good. Is this song about Mick Jagger? It might be. It might be. I don't know for sure. You guys take care of each other. First, take care of yourselves. Come back this afternoon for that drama. These bitches be tripping. You know what I'm saying? Sinner out. Oh, I was muted. Sorry. I just wanted to say thanks to Baxter for the Cash App. I very much appreciate you. It just says the notes just says let's go. I do appreciate you keeping the lights on at the Lemon Grove. I appreciate it. Sinner out.
You watched yourself go out, and all the girls dreamed that they'd be your partner. They'd be your partner, and you're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. You're so vain. I'll bet you think this song is about you. Don't you? Don't you? in my coffee, clouds in my coffee, and you're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. I'll bet you think this song is about you. Don't you? Don't you? When I hear you went up to Saratoga and your horse naturally won, then you flew your Learjet up to Nova Scotia to see the total eclipse of the sun. When you're where you should be all the time, and when you're not, you're with some underworld spy or the wife of a close friend, wife of a close friend, and you're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. I'll bet you think this song is about you. Don't you? Don't you? Don't you?
I just said, sorry, I was backstage. I didn't put myself up. I just said that I heard Mick Jagger singing in the background for the first time ever. I heard other people tell me that, but I never listened to it. I could definitely hear Mick Jagger. That's crazy. So likely the song's not about him. So much for that urban legend. So I'm going to play one more song for you. This is a playful song. Another Simon. Not Carly, but Paul. This one's called Call Me Al. You can call me Al. It's just a good vibe, man. I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you back later this afternoon. Sinner out.
A man walks down the street, he says, why am I soft in the middle now? Why am I soft in the middle? The rest of my life is so hard. I need a photo opportunity. I want a shot at redemption. Don't want to end up a cartoon in a cartoon graveyard. Bone digger, dogs in the moonlight. Far away, my well-lit door. Mr. Beer Melly, get these mutts away from me, you know. I don't find this stuff amusing anymore. If you'll be my bodyguard, I can be your long lost pal. I can call you Betty, and Betty, when you call me, you can call me out. A man walks down the street, he says, why am I short of attention? Got a short little span of attention, and oh, my nights are so long. Where's my wife and family? What if I die here? Who'll be my role model now that my role model is gone? He ducked back down the alley with some roly-poly little bat-faced girl. All along, there were incidents and accidents, there were hints and allegations. If you'll be my bodyguard,